Well, friends, we warned you, and indeed this Friday there will be a blood moon rising. We let you know about that last week, and we got a lot of stuff that's going to happen this week that we need to talk about. We're going to have a government shutdown. If Congress can't get through a spending bill, a continuing resolution, which is all hands on deck, no questions asked. Republicans need to all get on board and pass this thing, or else we're going to have a government shutdown. That happens on Friday, too. So, what's this blood moon about? I don't know. We're going to discuss some things it could be. But blood moons are harbingers, are seen to be harbingers of change or upheaval. And, of course, the blood connotation usually gives it a bad rap, too. Bad news, generally speaking. We're going to talk about what may be going down this week. And I'd like to hear from you guys, what you guys think. Does the blood moon mean anything? Is it a symbol? Is it a warning of something that's going to happen? Or is it just some random astrological event that's going to happen? It doesn't really mean anything. Regardless, let me know what you guys think about what this week is going to look like. With the stock markets in upheaval from last week, is it going to get worse this week, or are we going to have a rebound? We got a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade, and we covered things on this channel that the mainstream media just won't cover. They don't want to talk about these things, and that's why we need to talk about them here. And all they want to do is just push propaganda. So if you don't like propaganda and you want to actually get the facts and get information, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure that you're always doing that for the channels that you approve of, channels that you find useful. Always hit the thumbs up button and be free with making comments too. That always helps get it out to more people. So do that for your other channels as well, right? Anyway, we got the blood moon. Friday morning. Early, 2 a.m. approximately Eastern Standard Time, we will have a blood moon. Now, this is an effect from having a total lunar eclipse. So the Earth will block out the moon, and then as it kind of comes out of that, it turns blood red, which makes a great photo opportunity. So if you want to get your cameras out there with some good lenses, you can get some great shots. But historically speaking, people have seen these events as, warnings. So, we got some big things happening. We've talked about some of these things already. Israel is fed up with Iran. And the United States is already talking. President Trump has just said that something big is going to happen very soon with Iran, that he wants to... He wants a negotiated settlement. He wants to get them to give up their nuclear weapons or the pursuit of nuclear weapons with a deal. But he said, if we can't get a deal, we're going to have to stop them another way. And he said, and that way, we'll deal with the problem. Now, we suddenly have a whole bunch of lawmakers across the United States suddenly talking to opposition parties inside Iran. We've seen this before. We've lived this playbook before. Anyone else remember this? Every time that politicians in Washington, D.C. start listening to opposition people who grossly overstate the support that they have within their countries, grossly overstate the military capabilities of their people in their home countries, and then the United States backs these people in trying to overthrow their government. We were supposed to have a quick overthrow of the Assad regime in Syria. It took a little longer than expected. We have other countries where the overthrow of the governments was supposed to happen very quickly, like Libya. Well, the government still hasn't been secured in Libya. Country after country, the United States' military adventurism has often not gone so well. Can't help but think about the Bay of Pigs. That did not go well. Are we about to do the same thing in Iran? Are we going to either do direct airstrikes on nuclear facilities, which probably won't be super effective. Maybe they will be. But these are hardened bunkers that have been built to withstand air attacks. They've been specifically designed to repel air attacks by Israel and the United States. So that means that this may not go so easily for us. If we try to overthrow the Iranian government in favor of opposition forces, try to spur a revolution of sorts, is that really going to go well? We don't really seem to have an armed resistance to Iran. So where's that going to come from? Is that going to spontaneously erupt? It's not looking so super good there. Moving on to stock markets and financial markets across the West, we had a rough last week. I was telling you earlier about how the narrative and the stock market discussions amongst the banks had really changed, and that there was a change in the winds. And that kind of manifested itself last week, and we had a dip. It dipped, and then it just didn't recover. Just kind of kept going down. And a lot of people were surprised by that, but if you were watching this channel and listening, you were ahead on the curve on that one for sure. I begged with you and pleaded with you to protect yourselves. Now the question is what's it do this week? Is it going to keep plummeting? Is it going to keep going down? Or are we going to have a rally this week? And is it going to go back to all-time highs? Or is the rally just going to be short-lived and then come right back down even worse than last week? I think that we're kind of looking at bad stuff happening with the stock market. Now, I think that there's a fairly decent chance we may get a bit of a bounce in the next little bit here. But, consult with your stock professionals, consult with your financial planners, but just be aware that there's some chop happening right now. There's a lot of concern about where the stock market goes from here with the tariffs. Are the tariffs going to go away? A lot of the tariffs kind of went away, but Canada has not lifted its tariffs on the United States. The United States lifted most of the tariffs on Canada, but Canada is still not lifting them on the U.S. The trade wars are continuing to some extent or another. And I don't know. I don't know what happens from now. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. And things in Eastern Europe are not going well. Bear country continues pounding that country. Now, the United States has pulled back most of its intelligence support and its supply of weapons. But Starlink continues to provide services to frontline units. But we're starting to hear rumors out there that that Bear Country may have cracked some of the encryption on the Starlink terminals and is now targeting those Starlink terminals, and they're becoming essentially homing beacons for missiles and for drones to go after. And so every time someone fires up one of those terminals, it's being directly attacked. Now, I don't know if that's true. That's just what I'm hearing. So, not sure what all that is. All I know is that when I was working overseas, we were told, as much as you'd like to fire up that satellite phone and make a call or something like that, when you pick up that phone and you start broadcasting on that phone, that satellite phone, you are lighting up the electromagnetic what's called cross-section of that satellite phone is massive because you're broadcasting all the way up to a satellite. It takes a lot of power and a lot of broadcasting power, and anyone anywhere nearby, and for and antennas within a long range can pick up and triangulate your location. You are broadcasting in the clear. Your communication may be encrypted, but you are lighting up a bonfire, electromagnetic bonfire, which everybody can see. And if you're in a hostile environment, you are basically painting a target on yourself. So I would not be surprised if they are using those satellite dishes as targeting points. That makes sense. So things are not going well for the Eastern European country. They have a their major offensive has been cut off and has been now systematically destroyed. Those units being cut off completely. It's not going well. Further than that, we got all these countries in Europe all basically freaking out right now. They're trying to buy weapons left and right. They're afraid that Bear Country is going to take over them next, which I think is silly and ridiculous, personally, because I think that Bear Country is having enough trouble dealing with that one country in Eastern Europe, and its military is struggling. It's not to say that they can't rebuild and take that battlefield experience onto somewhere else, but it's going to take them a while to patch up their wounds. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, but they're not going to be ready to go invade any countries anytime soon, especially taking on NATO as a whole. That's crazy. Now, if the United States backs out of NATO, then there may be some more kind of truth to that, but the other European countries would come to the aid of a NATO member if they came under attack. So I don't really foresee that in the near future. However, as I've said, the threat from Bear Country is not their conventional military forces, it is their nuclear arsenal. And they've been modernizing their nuclear arsenal to include some very scary weapons. The Poseidon torpedo, which is not really a torpedo, it's more like an unmanned submersible nuclear device. Think of it as an intercontinental ballistic missile that swims underwater all by itself. And this thing can actually, because it's nuclear powered, it can sit at the bottom of the ocean and wait for weeks, if not months, before it then moves to its ultimate target. How do you defend against these things? They can literally swim halfway around the world. You can launch it near Europe, and it can swim down to Miami. That's a problem. It's just a submersible, a fast-moving, torpedo-like device capped with a massive nuclear warhead. They have been investing in hypersonic nuclear missiles that are basically like cruise missiles that can come in so fast over our nuclear sites that we won't even see them coming. They have been preparing themselves for a potential first strike against the United States and the West. Will they ever do that? I sure hope not. But they've been preparing to do that very thing. And the West has not been really preparing to defend against that type of attack. We just aren't prepared for that. We got the Chinese doing all sorts of stuff out there in the water. They're out there threatening a military base where the United States has a nuclear submarine. We have it in port at a Australian naval base, and the Chinese are doing stuff just off the coast from there. And once again, you look at the map and you go, gee, Australia isn't anywhere near China. Why are the Chinese there? They're sending a message that they are tired of the United States, Australia, and other countries going up to its coast and harassing it. And so they're starting to go to other countries' coasts and harassing them. Message noted. So, of these things, what do you think may be happening this week? Or nothing? Do you think it's just going to be a normal, ordinary week? We got the blood moon. Does it mean something? Does it not mean something? Is it something that I did not list? Is it some other issue, some other disease outbreak, or something else do you think is going to be the problem this week? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. I appreciate you guys being part of the community. And yeah, just kind of consider this a threat assessment. What do you guys think is the biggest threats right now to global stability, to the United States, and to our allies? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Appreciate you guys all. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to check out another video from this channel, there's one right up here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you guys later. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report.